I came to a place in my life where I said, I live in a city of 12.5 million people. I simply will not be happy with a few hundred. I won't be happy with a few thousand. I won't be satisfied until I've significantly impacted 12.5 million people. And that's what I want to do. And if that's not your heart, if that's not the passion, if that doesn't burn through you, don't get involved in movements, because it's not a technique. It's not a thing that you adapt. It's not a program. It's a passion that has to burn deep in you. I want my city to follow Jesus.
When we read the statistics, people who are working on that, there are some experts who try to see the growth of the church for decades, centuries. And the situation we have now is that for several decades now, the percentage of Christians in the world is stuck at 33%.
I come from a missions background, I come from a pastoral background, and I've been involved in business. And through all of that, I've been asking, what would it take to see movements of the gospel? As a pastor, I would get very frustrated, preaching my heart out, but seeing very little change. Spending hours preparing sermons and then finding out that Monday morning no one could remember what I said. Not only could they not remember what I said, nobody was doing what I said or repeating what I said to other people. So I had to do a lot of the work. As a missionary, I became increasingly frustrated with being the center of everything. I would go in cross-culturally, and because I was different to the group of people I was trying to reach, I would stand out, and everything would revolve around me. But I wanted to see the local people really raise up. I wanted to see local indigenous people become leaders. I wanted to see them empowered, and I wanted to see them own the vision. And I wasn't seeing that as a missionary. I would see a lot of activity when I was present and no activity when I left. As a business person, I found myself frustrated because I would work very hard for my money that I was giving, and I would often see very few results, especially lost people coming to Christ. There was a low return on investment, and I was seeking for something that had a much better return on investment. I was also frustrated because for the period of time that I was in business, pastors wouldn't trust me as a leader, even though I'd been through seminary training and Bible college, and I'd studied theology. Being in the business world kind of almost disqualified you for leadership. And so I went on this long search to say, how can I reconcile all this? How can I see movements of the gospel that move through ordinary people? I think that's a core value for us. In the book of Acts, they look at Peter and John and they see that they're ordinary people that have been with Jesus. So my dream became, how can we see movements of the gospel move through ordinary people that have been with Jesus?